We're very excited to be here. So it's been a long time, actually. So since summer, we're working on like the new updates. The entire tech team is working on the update, and now it's here. So on Monday, the update was successfully performed. This was one of the biggest updates we ever did. So after the incentivized testnet, we had a lot of time to like restructure everything. Came up with a new thing like interpool security, where we definitely increased like the pool security. We refactored a lot of stuff. Yeah, so one thing we have noticed is that because we refactored so much stuff, so the state migration wasn't that easy because like the level DB store from Cosmos, we pushed it to its limits. And this was the reason why we had to do the block update, the update over like 120 blocks. So we separated the update into smaller batches, and then every block update performed these updates. There was a heavy load on all of the nodes, and unfortunately, all of the nodes got kicked out, mainly because this is still testnet, our two nodes have the majority of voting power. Yes, and these two nodes are connected with each other in a direct connection, and therefore they were able to like produce blocks faster, or communicate like the votes faster than other nodes, and that was probably the reason why the other nodes got kicked out. But I'm very happy to see that we are back at 60 validator nodes. A lot of people already unshared, haven't been actually 24 hours since the update is fully live yet. I also have to do like a lot of internal migration stuff. Everything worked well, so we are very excited to introduce you to all the new features. One thing I want to mention is, of course, we want to thank you very much, especially to the beta testers, for all your help throughout the entire time. For you guys, we will make a separate write-up and post in the channel, so stay tuned. We will definitely give you a few more information. Yeah, that's my side. So Troy will start with the interpool security because now the flow has changed a little bit, and he will give you like a quick guide on how to set up the new node.
Well, hello guys, and yeah, so as you have already heard, the most important update we have now is interpool security feature, and we just want to explain why we implemented such a feature and how you can benefit from that. So let me just start sharing my screen, and then I can walk you through the main things which will change for you. So if we go to the docs, actually, you can read all the stuff which we discuss now here. So if you go to advanced concepts and interpool security, all the stuff I'm explaining can be found here. But let's head over to the app so I can show you a bit better what it means for you. So basically, the main thing that changed is that you as a validator on KYVE can now join multiple pools at once. So before, it was the way it's like if you wanted to participate, for example, on Moonbeam and Bitcoin at the same time, what you had to do is like create separate validators with separate addresses and a separate stake, and then join them separately. And with this new feature now, if you can, for example, click on Moonbeam, for example, we see here that they have 5 validators in it, and they are also the same validators as in Bitcoin. I think it's clearer if I show archive validator. So here we can clearly see that this validator, which is run by us at the moment, runs on all available pools. And this is the huge benefit of like giving each pool the security of the entire node stake. So before it was split up, now we have the entire node stake. And if you look at the pool TVL, you can see it's much, much higher than before. So it's way harder to overtake a pool now. So that's why it's a security feature. So it's way more secure than before. And way more value is locked behind the data, which makes it more secure. And this has also some huge benefits for you. So if, for example, look again at our validator, we can see here that we run on each pool. And of course, running on each pool generates us a special APY. And of course, because we run in parallel in those pools, this adds up. So we might have like 12% APY in Moonbeam and 17% in Avalanche, but totally it adds up to 85%. So the more pools you run on, the more data you secure, the more you earn. So it's simply like that. And this also allows us, or basically, to run multiple pools. We have also some tutorials about it in the docs, but yeah, it's easily possible to run on all pools which will come, because we make them very easily scalable for you. So in order to show that, we can head out to the docs where it's described where you can run now with the new setup, because I guess most of you come still from the old system and maybe still use the old binaries, but that changed a bit. And we have all the new setup listed here. So you can just head out to the docs and for validators to protocol node overview, and then everything explained here in detail, how you can start your new validator on the newest update. And that's exactly what I will demo to you. So I have prepared just like a fresh new project here, or it's just on my desktop basically. And all I have is like the R with JSON and the newest KYVE binary. So of course, KYVE is still a thing, and we will still highly recommend using it. So you can auto update whenever there's a future upgrade. So we will go with that. And so the first steps would be to actually create your validator account. So I will start with a fresh account here. So this is just a tutorial account. I have 100 KYVE on it. And I have not created anything with it, so it's brand new. And if you want to do the first step, you have to enable the expert mode. It's again listed on the docs, and then it shows up that you can become a validator. This prevents us from spam, so you have to actually read the docs or look a bit deeper into it how to start. And then after you read all the information on what your responsibilities and what the dangers are, you can self-delegate into yourself. So I will use half of that and leave some funds over. So you see later why. And let's just create a staker with 50 KYVE. And after that's created, you should be routed to your new validator page like that exactly. So what you can do here is, of course, you can change your moniker, your logo. You can simply do it by manage metadata. I will just call this one demo day validator, and that's it. So you can easily recognize it again. And after that's updated, we want to join our first pool. So first of all, we just look on which pool we want to join, and in our case, Moonbeam looks just fine. I mean, it has some pretty high stake. There are some validators on it, and it's still active. So we just memorize like the pool ID and the runtime it runs on, but actually we just need the pool ID. And with that, we can already head over to the terminal and initialize the KYVE binary. So I already pulled it down. You can find that exactly here on how to like get the latest binary. So you just re-get them here of a GitHub releases, and then you can just unpack them, and then you have the same setup as me. And of course, they are available for Linux and macOS. And after that, you can initialize it. So if you have the latest KYVE binary and want to then finally start on a pool, you can type KYVE in it, and we want to join on network Corellia, and we want to auto download binaries. So this feature enables us that it automatically downloads the latest binaries, so we don't have to compile them ourselves. And when we do that, of course there's, yeah, I remember I maybe downloaded the wrong platform, so of course I need macOS. So let me quickly remove that. All right, and then we can just re-get the binaries for macOS. Then almost have it. Then we can unzip it. And then we just rename it to a more short name, and after that, then we can initialize Kaiser. And what this does is it creates a config under this path. So there it saves all the Kaiser logs and all the binaries which it will auto download. And after we've initialized it, we can create a first val account. So basically how it works with the joining multiple pools is whenever, we can take a look how this validator does it. Whenever you as validator want to join a pool, you create a brand new address which will only live on the server you will let the node 1 on, and then you grant this address permission to validate data for you. So it's like a permission-based model. So this has the huge benefit that your validator account, in our case this one, tutorial account, never ever has to leave the web app or like a cold wallet like a ledger. So you don't have to put your private keys where it holds all your funds on a server, which might be insecure. So you can just create fresh new accounts, and you just have to provide some KYVE to pay for gas fees, and that's usually very low. So that's why we can create a fresh val account here. And we do that by or with this command. And we name that val account Moonbeam, so we know it belongs to the Moonbeam pool. We run on pool ID 0. And we run on pool ID 0 because when we go to our Moonbeam pool, it has the pool ID listed here. And as a storage pref, we use as the storage provider RWeave, so we can input it like this. So you have to read in the entire RWeave key file in this case, and I just pipe in this with the cat command. So we have it here. And what I also want to do is I want to also like let the metrics run. And then when you create this, it says successfully created val account. Then after that, we can already start a Kaiser. So we just start with a val account we just created, and the name was Moonbeam. And after that, it downloads already the latest binary of that pool, unpacks it, and then it should automatically start it. So this is something new. So now it has started, but this operator has, or this val account has no permissions yet to validate for you. So what we do now is we go to our validator page. And by the way, here's a shortcut so you can always view your validator. I can click on that. And you can join the pool and thereby granting access to your val account. So for example, here you want to join Moonbeam, and then you can enter the information listed here. So I want to grant address to this val address. We enter the name of the node. And then after that, I provide some funds to that the node can pay for gas. So for example, 10 KYVE is sufficient for now. And then I can click join pool. And while joining the pool, I grant access to this val address. And now the node can run. So as you can see, it's automatically started now. And it's already validating data, as you can see here. And by that, I'm already successfully participating in the first pool. And if I want to run on the next pool, I can simply create another val account locally with Kaiser and then join another pool. And it's simple as that. And of course, doing that all on one machine has its limit because we have a certain download and upload range. But when we go back to our KYVE example, our setup is that we run every val account on a separate AWS container. So that's why we can scale actually infinitely with that setup. So every time we want to join a new pool, we just spin up, I think it's even a T2 small instance, which is already enough to run a protocol node. And then we can just initialize a val address there, and then we're good to go. And with that setup, we can join every pool. So yeah, this is the way how you can participate, and I will also send the docs again in this channel, and we will also probably make an announcement hinting that we actually have updated docs. So maybe then it's easier for you guys to join again, because right now we have 8 validators, and we hopefully can have more in the future, since we had almost over 1,000 actually in the past, which are since the update offline, because of course they don't have any nodes running. So let's see how far we can get. And with that, Max can take over and show you all the nice features we changed in the UI and all the things you can view and do there now.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Troy. Yes, I'll take over right now with the user interface. So what we can do now is, how does it look like from a user's point of view? I will quickly share my screen. I think this should work now. So as you can see, the entire app got like a small overhaul. We have like, of course, a few charts are familiar, a few have changed. Now total value locked accounts now to like all combined pools. And very interesting is now the pool activity page, which got like a little overhaul. And actually we can right now see here what Troy did right now. So here we see his address. He created a staker with the initial delegation and he joined the Moonbeam pool. And here we can see now like all the recent changes in the chain. So every time I log in, I come back to the chain, I immediately know what has changed, what's going on. And then we have the bundles activity page, where we see like all the bundles that get produced in all the separate pools. And of course, the latest governance proposals. This is quite like, so here we get like a lot of news already. And then of course we can now click, for example, to go to a separate pool, for example, the Moonbeam pool. And here you can also, exactly, we can see the demo layer validator. And then we can see also the metrics, of course, like the total value locked. Everything started on Monday again because everything got reset to 0. Because, but actually we can see that it's already rising. See the bundles created, and quite interesting, of course, the slashing history, where we can see like, okay, few people already received the timeout slash for that. We hope, of course, that this will reduce in the future so that everybody configures the node correctly. Then there's a dedicated bundles page for now. So bundles are actually like the most important thing in KYVE right now. So if you click on a bundle, then we have like a very detailed overview or detailed view of the entire bundle, like how's the voting process designed, what's the storage provider, storage ID, who uploaded it, especially where the rewards distributed, and of course like the low level details. See here. Then there's also another thing. We can also go to the validators tab. Click on one node. For example, it's like the KYVE node. And then when we go to metrics, we also get like some reward score and self-staking. So we have like some benchmarks which people can use to rate the node. For example, like the self-stake ratio. Here we know that almost the entire stake is from the node itself. So the user, whoever runs this node, also has his own money at stake. It's usually like a good sign. Of course, all the delegators now are combined into one single tab. We can see the bundles created specifically by this user, and so on and so on. And luckily, this node received already a few points, but never got slashed. If this node was slashed for whatever reason, we would see it here. So this is also like useful to rate a node and decide if it's worth delegating to that node or not. Yes, I think that's where like have been the main features. And now I'd be happy to like open the question and answer session. All right, Paul?
So guys, if you have any question, feel free to write them in the chat, like that Max and Troy can answer them. Please keep it related to the version 7 of the protocol update. And feel free to ask any question you may have about tech stuff.
No, the KYVE UI code is not open source. It's basically just a simple web app. So the stack that's used here is Vue.js and Quasar. I think like the code itself is not that special for the web app, but it's not open source and probably won't be open source, I think. You can use the KYVE UI just if you navigate to app.kyve.network. And of course, you can handle, or if everything is related with signing, you can do it by, you can even connect, like use Kepler Wallet and Ledger.
We have another question about the backend 0.7 code.
Oh yeah, also backend code. So the backend code, so the thing you see, like everything that's related to frontend, it's like right now it's closed source. I don't know about any plans open sourcing it right now. So it's basically just like it's a basic indexer, just storing the stuff. Regarding the chain code, so the chain itself right now is not, so the latest release is not open source yet. This is because we need some more clarity, internal clarity on how we want to proceed, which license to take, etc. You can be assured that definitely on mainnet launch, everything will be open source. So that's for sure. Right now for testnet and some other dependencies we have, we decided to have it like closed source for now. Once this everything has settled, then of course everything will get released.
So if you want, oh yeah, sorry, Max.
No, go ahead, try. Go ahead, try.
So you can already start building on KYVE right now if you want. So of course we are still in testnet, but this doesn't stop anyone from creating his own pools or trying out to validate his own endpoints or create a validator or a fork validator from being implemented. So, or if you even want to use the data, so the data we validate in archive is public on Arweave, so you can of course pull it down yourself, write a script which can also do some stuff. We already have many community contributions we are currently still looking into, and that's why you don't have to wait for mainnet basically to already start building. Of course, when we are in mainnet, then everything is more official. But for now, the code will not change that much anymore. So actually, you can already start building with it and see what you can, what you can build with it. So you can already start if you want. And also a good question from Colot. So the automatically download binary function, is it safe to use it mainnet or should we only use it in testnet? That's a very good question. And I also listed them on the docs. So for testnet, it's absolutely fine to auto download the binaries, but you should never use it in mainnet to auto download binaries there. You should always, like same as in Cosmos, compile the binaries yourself before an upgrade. So of course, an upgrade will take probably several days or even weeks. And you should compile the binaries yourself before the upgrade, put them into the right directory. Of course, we have all documented that in our doc. And so you can be sure that you don't download anything malicious. And for testnet, it's fine to auto download now because, of course, being in a testnet, there are many updates, so it's way easier for you guys to stay on the latest version. And that's why we would say enable it for testnet and disable it for mainnet. Yes, another question from SW33 Pronodes. In protocol nodes, addresses should be different for all pools. Yes, they should be all different. And actually, we force you to have them all different. And the easiest way to generate val addresses or val accounts is with the Kaiser. So as you could see, I created a val account with the Kaiser CLI, and it automatically generates a new random mnemonic for you, so you don't have to choose one. and automatically saves them in a local config. So what you would do is basically log on to your server, install Kaiser there, and then generate a valid address right there, so you don't ever have to transfer them around. And then, yeah, you can be sure that you always have a different valid address for a different pool. But it's important that this valid address is authorized by the same validator. So all the rewards are like transferred to the main validator account who has all the stake. Yes.
Okay, thanks guys. Do we have any other question? SW33 is typing, so one main. Troy, Max, do you want to answer?
We're looking forward to it too. No, everything has its time, but of course we will only make official releases when I think everything is ready, and you will hear from us from our official Twitter account, I guess, or Paul.
Yeah, exactly. Right now we are finishing like last stuff. We are still in Q4 for now. We are waiting on some stuff, and we'll keep you posted on official KYVE announcement channel. So like Twitter, Discord, Telegram, and so on. Make sure that you follow the right accounts and don't follow like any like scammy account, because like like there's a lot of scam up there that try to take advantage of community. But yeah, so we have like so few new stuff to release. Like I think Monday we have a big release also next Monday, so it will be interesting to follow up, and after we'll move forward on that. But we'll keep you posted, no worries. Do we have any other question? So about the testnet rewards, we are not talking about the protocol update V7, but I will answer you. About the protocol, the testnet rewards, so we will start distributing them at TG. So when we will switch to mainnet, I suppose you ask also for the protocol node delegation about IT. We'll give you updates very soon on that too. We are actually writing the article about it, so like the updates should come soon about this topic also. Do we have any other question from you guys, or all good? If you have any other after, you can just send them in the chat, the general one or the node one, as you want. As always, KYVE team is more happy than ever to help you and to answer all your questions. So yeah, if you don't have anything or any other question right now, what SDK do you use for chain nodes? So I think it will be more for Max or Troy to jump on it.
So for the chain node, it's the Cosmos SDK latest version 3.46. Pruning issues. So we have set almost all of our nodes to like prune the entire state, because there's like, I don't know why we should want to keep like this historical state of stuff, because we have like all the events and can rebuild a lot of stuff. So we have like all the pruning settings set to maximum. We keep the blocks so other nodes can sync. Of course, if you want to run a light node, you can also do block pruning. And you can disable TX indexing. This also saves a lot of memory. Okay, I'm not so sure about, but feel free to send me a DM and I can have a closer look to this. So we haven't experienced it, but I'm very happy to have a look at this. Paul?
So yeah, in terms of community activities, we'll have a lot coming in the month of December. Can't disclose too much, otherwise like it's not a surprise anymore. But we'll have like some other community activities, not only for node runners, but also for people who want to build with KYVE, for people creating like information, spreading the word about the technology that we are building and the solution that we are building for developers and people who want to go into Web3. So yeah, we'll have a lot of activities in the next month. So like next week, I think we'll start. We'll announce one. So yeah, stay tuned also. Okay, I see. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys. So if we don't have any other question, I think we are good. Thanks, Max and Troy, for the presentation. Thanks the beta testers, chain node runners, and protocol node runners during IT and after to help us and give us valuable feedback. We will have a lot of activities in terms of like tech activities, community activities, and so on. Coming, we'll also have mainnet very soon. We are all working on that. All the KYVE team is working really hard to put it out as soon as possible. Make sure about it. Don't hesitate if you have any other question to ask us on the general chat, on Telegram or on Twitter. If you have any idea, input, feedback, we are always happy to hear that. And thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day, and thanks to the community to join us.